We're going book thrifting. Did I just do this like 2 months ago? Yes. But a lot can happen in 2 months. There could be some really great books and I would just have no idea. I am going by myself this time, which is a little not as fun. In my last book thrifting video, I went to 3 Goodwills and I got 9 books. Today, we're gonna go to 4 Goodwills and a used bookstore and a different thrift store. So we're gonna go to 6 places and we're gonna see what we can find. I'm very excited. I will be vlogging on my phone, so the quality won't be as good just because like I am gonna be by myself. Don't really wanna be dragging my camera through the stores. Let us get going. I just found part of a dead bird in the driveway. You heard me right, I said part. Let us head to the first stop, which is Goodwill number 1. Stop number 1. One of the craziest things about living in the desert is that some days you go outside and there's literally like not a single cloud in the sky. And that's bonkers, but also really hot. Goodwill number 1. That was the most crowded I think I've ever seen a Goodwill. I guess I'll call it a success because I did get 1 book, a hardcover. It's in pretty good condition, and at Goodwill the hardcovers are only $3.29. But it's a book that I have been really interested in for a while, but I wasn't expecting to see it there on the shelf. But when I show you the cover, you'll see how I spotted it. It really stuck out. There was a reseller in there who had a little thing on her phone and she was like scanning every book to try to see like which books she could make money off of. I was like, really? But looking in her cart, it mostly just looked like business books. So I was like, okay, at least she didn't snag anything that I would have liked. Now we're headed to a used bookstore. I've never been to this used bookstore and I haven't heard anything about it. We're gonna see about it. Just kidding. That bookstore is 15 minutes in the opposite direction of where I'm trying to go. So now we're headed to a different store. Stop number 2. Well, that was the best. So they had a lot of books, but most of them were like nonfiction books or like craft books, gardening books, like hobby books. They really didn't have that many like fiction. Maybe next time they'll have some. You know, you're not gonna score at every one. We've been to 2 stores and we currently have 1 book to show for it. There was a Sweet Magnolias book in there that I thought about getting. I knew that if I bought it, I was just gonna buy it, like just buy it. I have the first 4 books in the series and I've only read the first 1. So I'm like, I kind of feel like I need to read a little bit more of the series before I can like buy more books in the series. Now we're headed to the next Goodwill, which is one of the ones I went to last time. Fingers crossed we find something. Stop number 3. So that one was much more of a success. I bought 3 books at that one for $8.87, 2 hardcovers and 1 paperback. There were 2 more resellers in there. We've got 4 books for like $12-ish dollars. I mean, so far we still have 2 Goodwills to go to, so not gonna, I mean, and I have found 4 books, so it's not been a complete bust. The last time I went book thrifting, I got 9 books. So having gone to 3 places and only having bought 4 books, which is the same number of places I went last time, and I bought half the amount of books I bought last time, that's a little sad. That's a little sad. I was hoping to buy some more, but that's okay. We don't need to buy a million bajillion books every time. This is your reminder to stay hydrated. Let's go to the next Goodwill. Stop number 4. Are you kidding me? Yo, I just bought maybe my favorite book I will buy today. I already showed you, but it was Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and this copy's in amazing condition. You literally saw me in the clips, like spot it. I was just trying to like film a clip of the books and I just like stopped when I saw Skyward. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. For $2.29. I said in my last book thrifting video, but like a lot of these books that I find and I get at like Goodwill, like they don't even have any evidence that anyone's ever actually read them. I can finally start reading some Brandon Sanderson. So that brings my total up to 6 books, because I got 2 books in there for $4.58 because they were both paperbacks. Now I'm gonna go make a pit stop at Walmart. Stopped off at home, dropped off my Walmart bags, had some lunch, and now we are back in the car for our 5th and final stop of the day, which is another Goodwill. This is the only Goodwill that I will go to today that I haven't been to before. So I'm interested to see what the book selection is like at this Goodwill. Last stop of the day. So I ended up picking up 4 books. So after having gone to 5 stores, 4 Goodwills, and 1 Savor, I ended up with 10 books. So that's fun. That's an average of 2 at each store, which is good. I was a little bit disappointed after I left the 2nd store and I had only bought 1 book. But then I bought 9 more books after that. Let me get on home and then I will give y'all a proper haul so you can see all of the books that I bought today. So I ended up buying 10 books and I spent $26.90. So for an average of $2.70 on each book, which is awesome. Let's get into all of the books that I bought today. So at the first Goodwill, I only bought 1 book, and that was Radium Girls by Kate Moore. Now this book actually has been on my TBR for a while, but can you see why it caught my eye when it was on the shelf? Because it's like electric green. The story of the Radium Girls has been kind of one of my dark fascinations for like several years, so I was actually very surprised to see this on the shelf, but of course I couldn't, for $3.29, I couldn't leave it there. Then I didn't buy anything at Savers, which is where I went next, but then I went to another Goodwill and I ended up picking up 3 books. So the first one I picked up was The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. Now I had seen this one a lot in Barnes & Noble, but I had never picked it up or like looked at it just because the title for some reason in my mind made it think like it was something related to grief, like the Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. I was just like, not really. However, that's not the case. So the Heaven and Earth Grocery Store is a business in this book, but it's not about grief. So I decided to pick it up, you know, because it's in pretty good shape. Then I picked up Daughter of the Reich by Louise Fane, and I just thought the pages were cool. They're like textured. I've been wanting to get more into historical fiction recently, and then 1,000 Splendid Suns by the same author who wrote The Kite Runner. I have not read either of those books. However, when I was in college, literally like everybody that I knew had read either this book or The Kite Runner, and we didn't read either of those books at my high school. I decided to pick it up. This one is set in the war in Afghanistan. Then I went to Goodwill number 3, and the first book, which you saw, I spotted, was Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I've been wanting to get into Brandon Sanderson, and so the fact that I got this and there's like literally no evidence that anybody's ever opened this book, yeah, I'll buy that for $2.99. And then I also picked up Billy Summers by Stephen King because I've heard that this is not a horror novel, and I've also heard like really great things about this. Like I think Haley Pham has read it and gave it 5 stars. I think Destiny Sidwell read it and like rated it very highly. I picked it up too. And then at the final Goodwill that I went to, one book that caught my eye on the shelf was The Unanswered Questions by Lauren D. Folter. If you don't know me, if this is your first time here, my absolute favorite genre is dystopian fiction. So like Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner, The Selection. I love dystopian fiction. And reading the back of this one, it sounded like dystopian fiction, and the cover is giving those vibes as well. I searched it up on Goodreads and it literally only had like 70 ratings, but they were all very good. It had like a 4.5 stars. So I was like, let me grab that. They also had the next 2 books in the trilogy there, so I just got all 3 of them, even though I've literally never heard a single thing about this series. I have a problem, but at least I know it. And then the last book that I picked up today is one that I've read before. However, I could not pass up the opportunity to finally purchase a copy of Run Rose Run by Dolly Parton and James Patterson. Once again, if this is your first time here, I have listened to the audiobook of this 3 times and I gave it a 5 stars every time. I love this book, but I've never actually like read it with my eyeballs. So when I saw this, I was like, you're coming home with me. So these are all the 10 books that I bought today. If you have a Goodwill near you, I highly recommend you go look for books there because you can get some great deals. Anyways, guys, that is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoy this type of content. Comment the best book that you have ever found at a used bookstore, and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content in the future. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.